Have you ever been angry at God because something didn't work out? The relationship ended, the opportunity disappeared, the door you desperately wanted opened for someone else, and in that moment it felt like God had abandoned you. But what if the exact thing that disappointed you was actually protecting you? What if some of God's greatest acts of love don't feel like blessings at all when they first happen? Because sometimes God's protection arrives disguised as rejection, and most people don't realize it until much later. Could that be happening in your life right now? In the next few minutes, you'll discover 5 powerful signs that God may be protecting you even when life feels confusing, frustrating, or painful. And some of these signs look like setbacks. Others feel like delays, but all of them reveal a deeper truth about how God works behind the scenes. And stay until the end, because the final sign is the one most people completely miss. Once you understand it, you'll never look at your struggles the same way again. One of the biggest mistakes we make is judging our lives based on how we feel in the moment. If something feels good, we assume it's good. If something hurts, we assume it's bad. But life doesn't work that way. Many of the things that protect us don't feel pleasant when they're happening. The Bible reminds us in Romans 8:28 that God works all things together for good for those who love him. Notice it doesn't say all things are good. It says God can work through all things, even disappointments, even delays, even closed doors. Sometimes what feels like rejection is actually redirection. And once you understand that, you'll begin seeing signs of God's protection everywhere. Sign number 1, closed doors. The first sign is when a door refuses to open no matter how hard you push. You pray, you plan, you work, you wait, and still nothing happens. It's frustrating. But how many people eventually look back and say, thank God that didn't work out? The job that seemed perfect, the relationship they thought they couldn't live without, and the opportunity they were convinced they needed. God sees what you cannot see. What feels like a loss today may be saving you from a much bigger loss tomorrow. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Try asking, what might God be protecting me from? Sign number 2, a loss of peace. The second sign is a growing sense of discomfort. Everything may look fine on the surface, but deep inside, something feels off. You can't explain it. You can't prove it. You just know something isn't right. Many people ignore these feelings because they want certainty, but often God gives warnings before he gives explanations. The Bible frequently connects God's guidance with peace. When peace disappears, pay attention. Slow down. Pray. Listen carefully. Sometimes God's protection begins with a whisper before it becomes obvious. Sign number 3, unexpected delays. Nobody enjoys waiting. We want answers now, blessings now, breakthroughs now. But sometimes delays are actually protection. Think about a parent stopping a child from running into a busy road. The child doesn't understand why they're being stopped. It's due to wait, they only know they're frustrated. We often respond to God's timing the same way. What if you're not being denied? What if you're being prepared? Joseph spent years waiting before stepping into the purpose God had for him. The delay wasn't punishment, it was preparation. Sometimes God delays what you want because he's getting you ready for what you need. Sign number 4, things start falling apart. This is the sign that surprises most people. Sometimes God's protection looks like chaos. Plans collapse, friendships change, comfort zones disappear, and suddenly life feels unstable. But before something stronger can be built, something weaker often has to be removed. Many people pray for change, then panic when change begins. The truth is, God may be removing something that cannot support the future he has planned for you. The thing falling apart may not be your future, it may be the obstacle standing in its way. Sign number 5, you're growing through the struggle. This is the most important sign of all. Because it doesn't happen around you, it happens inside you. You become stronger, wiser, more patient, more dependent on God. The struggle changes you, and that transformation is often God's greatest protection. Success without character can destroy people. Blessings without wisdom can overwhelm people. God isn't only protecting your circumstances, he's preparing you for what's ahead. Sometimes the greatest miracle isn't that the storm disappears, it's that you become strong enough to walk through it. Here's what most people misunderstand. They think God's protection means a life without problems, but that's not what the Bible teaches. God's protection doesn't always remove the battle. Sometimes it guides you through it. When you look back on your life, you'll probably discover that many of your greatest blessings were hidden inside moments you once hated. The closed door, the delay, the disruption, the struggle. They weren't accidents, they were part of the process. Psalm 121 says, "The Lord will watch over your coming and going both now and forevermore." God sees what you can't. And that's why you can trust him even when you don't understand him. Remember this, God's protection is often invisible in the moment, but obvious in hindsight. The next time life doesn't make sense, remember these 3 steps. Step 1, pause. Don't assume every setback is a punishment. Step 2. Pray. Ask God for wisdom, not just answers. Step 3. Pay attention. Look for the lessons, the warnings, and the growth happening beneath the surface. God's protection often leaves clues before it reveals the full picture. Now I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 5 signs have you experienced recently? A closed door? A delay? A loss of peace or growth through a struggle? Share your experience in the comments below, and if this video encouraged you, subscribe for more faith-based insights that help you see God's hand in everyday life. Because sometimes the biggest blessing in your life is the one you didn't realize was protecting you. And that changes everything.